Boom, boom. This is Kendra. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a bit of the Bleach Immortal Soul up today. So, as I hope everyone was able to get what they were looking for out of the Soul Box event that we had with Flyzen and Karakura V2. I did manage to get what I was looking for. I did manage to get. I was mainly focused on the awakening the weapon because I knew I was going to come up a little bit short, but I am a little bit short. At about another 15 or so Omni Shards, I will be able to take him up to 6-star. But what I was really focusing on was the weapon. I do have one of his weapons, and I do have into the second one. So what we need to do is I need basically 15 shards. As you can see, he's this 4 right here. So I need 15 shards to actually get his second copy of his weapon. This will allow me to awaken his weapon twice. Be able to take it up to 2. It's at 1 right now, the first awakening. And to awaken the second, you have to actually have 2 copies of the actual weapon. So if you go in to take a look at your core here, and look at this 4 to awaken the second one. As you can see, I've got 1 completed, but I need 1 more. And I have 35 shards for the second one, so I need 15 more shards. And as I also mentioned in a previous video, usually they have a Karakura Town event shortly after the Soul Box, and fortunately they do, and here we go. So I just basically need 90 of these to get 3 copies of this, which will be 5, so that'll be 15 shards that I need. And I average about 120, anywhere between 100 and 120 is how many shards I get. The last Karakura Town event, I did get 3 of these. I needed 12 copies to get one of the weapons for Zangetsu, and I did manage to get the 12 that was needed. I had to get 15 actually, because you can't get 12. You can. It has to be. It's in groups of 5. So, but I did get 15 for that. So I know I can get another 15 for this, and that will lead me to a second copy of the weapon, and I will then be able to awaken him twice. And that I think that should be. Yeah, that should be the first one that I'll be able to, the first character that I'll be able to awaken the weapon twice, do a double awakening, which of course each awakening greatly increases the character's damage, stats, all functions of that when you awaken the weapon. And that's one of the ways as you get to 6-7 stars. That's really the best and fastest way to build up powerful characters, is to get copies of the weapon. So that's why if you see some of the characters using certain SSRs or or such, they might be able to awaken the weapon several times as such, and then focusing on that character can be beneficial in the fact that it can actually increase the damage. Like I'm going to continue to awaken Ichigo's weapon, because as you can get, they're being a little bit more generous with the SSR Select shard boxes in terms of World Championships, and then of course with this event that they got right now, the actual treasure trial, which I made it to the 2nd level. I'm on level 2 right now. I cleared the 1st level, so I'm just going to start working up through this. Okay, up to 14, and then of course is the next level up to 20, and this is where you actually get the full player reward. And this is still going to be going on for another 9 days. So I try to do 2 or 3 stages a day, 4 or 5. As it gets closer, I'll just try to make sure I'll get as far as I can get, and then after I've finished it, completed as far as I can go, then I'll go back and try to get, some of the secondary and the silver and gold boxes, as they're saying, which is using the special requirements that you have to do for each. I mean, some of them I'll be able to complete, though some I won't. But to get the actual box at the end, which has all the goodies in it, as you can see, this is a lot of shards in the mega chest here. See, look at this. This is a bunch of weapon shards. This is 15, 30. This is enough to completely do somebody's weapon. I mean, there are different choices that you can make. I chose Yeah, I chose the one so I could get as much of these weapons, so I could start focusing on Ichigo's weapons, so I can start, you know, awakening it up multiple times. I mean, Ichigo still does a lot of damage. I mean, even though he's technically an art character, I mean, when you get him, that's what he is. But as you work him up and get through there, it becomes a lot better. So this is the event that's up. So Flyzen's and Karakura's weapon shards are in here. So whichever character you worked on, if you came up a little bit short, you have a chance here to get a bunch of shards for his weapon. I mean, you've got 30 shards, or 30 chances at 5 a shard. That's, you know, 150 shards there that you can scrape up. Of course, you know, doing that much damage will be exceedingly difficult because, you know, you're fighting against Aizen. But yeah, it should be. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Otherwise, you know, your standard, your Omni shards, and as always, there's nothing different about this event. It's exactly like it always is. Same rewards. Character-wise, we've got Get Banyan in here, and we've got Wonder Weiss, and we've got Stark, and we've got Yami, and Dudoni. So, any, you know, all SSR characters, but and some standard characters, you know. If you're working on any of them, as I said, your characters are slightly higher stats. So I'm going to go for the shards. Anything left over, I will most likely... I might actually go ahead and try to snatch up a couple of these this time. Simply because there's a couple of my... that I want to... You know, this is what you use to actually take your... Configure the actual... War Souls with a specific type of accent. So if you take a look at the War Souls we've got for his, as you can see, I've got the special War Soul on him. It matches his elements, so basically you get that. There's a couple that I want to do that on. I want to do it on him, and I want to do it on Daga. I don't particularly like this War Soul on him. I put this War Soul on him simply because I could get the beach. I actually want to put a damage crit War Soul on him, a War Soul of crit. I do have one inside of the bag that I can use for that. War Soul, where's that War Soul of crit at? But it does not have, right here, War Soul of crit. I've currently got it resting on Shinsui, but I want to move this to actually to Dangai Ichigo because he's a crit character, so anything to increase his crit damage would be of course very, very important. Crit chance by 20 and crit strength by 20%. So this would be something that would be very, 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 very beneficial to actually put on Dangai Ichigo. So that's what I'm looking for in that terms, because I think that would be the most beneficial out of all the War Souls that I have. That would look good on him. So that's, but I don't unfortunately have a War Soul of crit that has a red on it. So that's what I want to do. So I might go ahead and you know, purchase a couple of those and give this thing, give this War Soul of crit right here, you know, and reforge it and give it a actual thing, and then just try to, you know, go around. So I've got enough Awakening Essence to do that. So I'm holding off on spending the Awakening Essence until I can do that. So I might go ahead and snatch a couple of those up inside of this event instead of getting an actual Omni Shards at this moment, just simply to focus on that so that I can give him the War Soul that I want to give him. And then, you know, next event I'll of course start going back to the Omni Shards. I'm very close. Let me see how many I need here. It's actually easier to go into the character. Here, Core V2. Promote. So I've got 88. Okay. So let's get a little sheet of paper here. So we've got 88 shards for him. And how many Omni Shards do we have inside of our bag here? We have 139. So 9... 8 or 17, 8, 3, 11, 2, 1, 127. Okay. So 227. So how many? 227, 240. So I need 13 to get to 240. So that's, you know, that's pretty high. But 14 I can knock off inside of 2 events. One event and within the game here, you know, just getting the Omni shards that you get from within the, you know, when you do squad boss, you should be getting several chests. You can get Omni shards inside of there. You can get Omni shards inside of the arena if you do that. Plus, when they have these little mini events here, you can snatch up ours like they got. You just have to look for them. Like here's 5. If you do summon 80 times, you can get 5. Okay. So, you know, it's there. Of course, you know, summoning, you just need to do a Soul Jade summons, which means you need to, you know, so something to look at, you know. It's a way to get 5 shards. Unfortunately, we'll just have to see if it's something that I want to particularly do. There's really nothing I actually want inside of the Soul Jade summon itself. Most of what I'm going for, or would be looking for, is inside of the 2.0 summon. Not exactly sure if that applies. So we'll have to see. But yeah, so there's stuff in there that you can do to get the Omni shards. But that should be your primary focus until you get to the point where I'm at, where it's start looking at certain stuff. And that's what I like about these events. They usually always have Omni shards, and they usually have awakening essences and relics, as well as the soul stones and stuff. But really, a lot of this stuff you can get just playing the game. So it's really not. It's really not. You know, this is pretty much the most difficult thing to acquire in terms of you know, because you need them in bulk. I mean, you get them, but it takes a lot of time to get a bunch of them. When you're taking a character, you know, as you're taking your core here to 5 to 6. I mean, you know, he's at 5 right now. To take him to 6, it takes 240. Okay, that's a lot of that's a lot of Omni shards. So, you know, but to get that many, it takes a little while to gather them up. But they do have them. They do have, you know, they're at the point where you can actually get them. You just have to keep an eye on them. I always check the events that are going on each day, and see where they have the Soul Jade, the Omni shards at, and then I try to get to them. You know, they don't have anything else going on at the time. It doesn't cost. So as you can see, they do have this up, a Soul Jade summon. You know, you have to do it 80 times, which means 8 pulls. Okay, which means you're going to need 80 tokens, which I have nowhere near, or you're going to need some Soul Jade. So I don't have enough to do it, so it's not really something that behooves me. I spent all my Soul Jade. I'm just working it back up right now, but I spent, you know, pretty much as much Soul Jade as I could on the event, and it paid off because I'm now going to have a double weapon awakening for your core. So that's going to let's see what that's going to increase. So if we go to his skills and we go to his domain, that's not his, it's his rage. Okay, so after weapon awakens, damage is greatly increased, so we're going to get a damage buff. And there is an added effect by which if our core's health is above 50%, this skill deals additional damage equal to 70% of his death. Or if your core's health is under 50, he gains a shield equal to 20% of damage dealt by the attack. So basically, this is going to increase his damage quite a bit, and it's also going to make him more survivable, which is what you want to see in a tank. He's already exceedingly survivable. After you awaken his weapon once, you'll notice he immediately goes from an okay tank to an excellent tank. Okay, there are times when he's, you know, he even gives Sassy a run for money, and Sassy has a revive, which makes him exceedingly useful as a tank as well too. There's been, you know, quite a few times where the match has been over, and Sassy's been the only one alive. I'm talking about the elite stages and stuff that you're going through. He has really good survivability with that revive. So yeah, so but I've been bringing up Dan Guy, and he can survive Squad Boss now. He's fully survivable inside of Squad Boss. He actually is on par with Base Ichigo right now. They're pretty much running in tandem right now with their health depletion as they go up against the squad boss. And he's only at 4-star. Damage-wise, he's pretty much he's doing more damage than both Karakura and Sazi, and he's giving Base Ichigo a run for his money, as he is with Kenpachi. So he's definitely, he's definitely starting to be comparable. So it's just a matter of time before we have to make a decision. I've still got the weapon. I've still got a ways to go with the weapons. Two more inside of the red, and then another couple inside of the green before the weapon will be fully maxed out. And then, but he does a ton of damage. I'm doing a lot more damage inside a squad boss than I was on my previous team. My previous team, I would average between 70 and 76. I'm now consistently getting about 85, between 80 and 85 consistently now. So what did I get today? I can't remember what I got today. I think I got 82 today, 81 or 82. I know I made the 81 million mark, so I surpassed that. I think I just barely surpassed it. I think it was like 81.7 or 81.8, something like that. But that's pretty much normal what I get. And that's even with the squad boss kicking off a couple of his zeros. Sometimes you can get that lucky time where you go up against him where he'll only cock off 1 0. But then there's most of the times he ends up doing 2. Either way, I survive. This morning nobody died. Okay, so I no longer need to supply myself with health. So that's not something I need to worry about. And I no longer need to supply myself with a shield. Something I need to worry about anymore. I can now survive it straight out. And I noticed the Karakura Town event went a little bit smoother. I was very, very, very close to getting 19 coins from that. But I stuck with 18. And I did want to run it again, so I was too busy. But 18 was what I needed. And that will enable me to get a copy of get me 5 of the shards for the weapon tomorrow. Because you only need 30. And 18 and 18, that will give me 36. So I'll be able to get a copy of that tomorrow. The first 5 that I need, and then I'll get it 3 more times. Awaken the weapon, double it up, and then we'll see what he's got on that. I don't know how much that's going to increase since this is my first double awakening. I'm a little excited to see exactly how much of a benefit. I'm going to make sure I write down all of my stats beforehand, and then we'll do the double awakening. I'll show it. I'll show it. I'll do a video when we do it. Then we'll do it, and then we'll see what the stats look up to. And then we'll see how that plays out. But I hear Second Awakening does quite a bit in terms of helping the character get a little bit better in terms, and it's not so much the stats and the base attack that you're going to get, of course, but it's actually the added buffs that you get from awakening the weapon, which gives you, like in this case, it's more damage and it's more power to the shield, which means it can last longer. Those shields right now are taking about 2 base hits before they go. So maybe it'll go up to 3 or 4 base hits, and maybe one of them will be able to survive a rage. Although if that happens, that would be immensely useful. That means pretty much impenetrable front row. If they're able to actually, the shield stops all of the damage from a rage, would be pretty good. Because rages right now usually take it down, but they can usually survive 2, sometimes 3 base hits, which is very useful. Especially, it makes you last a lot longer if your shield's taking the damage. Now, once your front line goes, then the back line starts taking the front line damage. So you want your front line to survive as much as possible. So that's where I'm at right now. Karakura Town event is up, so you might want to go ahead and play it. Don't forget about the treasure trial. Get as far as you can. It's going to be up for another, 9 days. So you got a little bit of time. But I know it's high. I know you need to be high level to do it. It's clearly geared towards veteran players with very high level teams. But keep going with what it is, and just get as far as you can. Because get the rewards, the best rewards that you can. And try to get the chest. I know it's going to be difficult, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. All right. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I just want to let you know the Karakura Town event was up, is up, and the exchange does have the shards, weapon shards for Flyzen and Ulq in them. So if you came up a little bit short on getting that weapon, now is your chance to get some more shards and possibly successfully awaken those weapons, which is what we all are looking for. Once you've got the character close to max, that's the way to go. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell. If you click on that bell, you get notified each time I do drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that helps the channel immensely. So this is Ken coming at you from the corner, signing out.